a door 30 times. It's just like, it's really not a good idea. What you might want to do is try to steer your children towards other friends. If they're old enough, it's probably not going to work. It's almost impossible to do. The rule of thumb is you can't take away what you can't replace. And you can't replace those friends. So, you know, you could say something gently like, and it depends on your relationship, it depends on the type of child. You could say something like, look, I'm sure, you know, Yitzi's a great kid, and you're a great kid, but somehow when the two of you get together, you just wind up getting into trouble. So maybe you want to work on that, or maybe you want to spend some time with that. Something like that. Never names, never labels. Don't make it personal, because you're going to get enemy. They're going to find out right away what you said, and you're going to get enemy number one. It's just, you can't afford this if you have adolescents. So really be wise about it. And again, try to steer them towards other friends. I just want to tell you, a lot of times, I cannot begin to tell you how many times it happens that I get contacted by the same parents. And I mean, Reuven and Shimon, Reuven's parents think that Shimon's bad for their son. Shimon's parents think Reuven's bad for their son. Sometimes they both complain in the same week. Could you do something to separate my son? Since Reuven came, it's all about him. So a lot of times the kids that you think really aren't, it might not be, I'm just telling you, sometimes you look into it, you might find that there may even be a calming influence on your kid. But you just have to look at it. Obviously, I can't go through details with you, but it's more don'ts rather than do's. The don'ts are really, don't make it personal, don't do a frontal on it. You can kind of guide them towards kids that you want to, or have such conversations, excuse me, with them. But I hope I answered your question. It's tough. The kids all said there's nothing you could do. So it is, I don't agree with that. There's something you could do, but it's just a very, very hard thing to do. And God help you if you break up a friendship. See, the problem, the difference that adults don't understand, you can't understand it because you don't live it. You have the full luxury of picking your peer group. You don't like the guys in this shul, you dive in someplace else. You don't like the guys in your whatever it is, your basketball league, you go somewhere else. Kids are stuck. It's very, very different. Imagine that you had, those X number of friends and you just can't leave. And you're with each other 10 hours a day, 200 days a year. So if you mess up one of these friendships and your son suffers from it all year, find a place to stay, like far away. Okay, so you really need to be very, very, very careful. My advice to you is tread very carefully.
Okay, so I think we're going to wrap. I want to add one just very brief point. I think we have to. We're in a shul. We're talking about parenting. And in Binyan Israel, Sefer Revolve book, and all this farm, tefillah is if not 50% or 80% of siyata d'shmaya that we need. So we need to remember that as well. Children have bechira. Esav was born from wonderful parents as well. Are we going to blame the parents on his poor upbringing? We're going to wrap up. I want to thank all the speakers that came. I want to thank Ruchama from Mask and Shia from the JCC for putting this together, or Rakaf and the Shul, and thank you all for coming. And again, everyone's entitled to a book on the way out. The suggested donation is $10, but please feel free to take a book. Thank you. Of course,